Hi there, this is Brenda, and I'm so happy to be back with you sharing another video. This is a new pattern to me, but it's been around for decades. For those of you who have knit with needles, this is just the chunky version, and I'm so thankful for my knitting friend for sharing it with me. And I hope you guys are all having a great summer. It's a gray day here in the Pacific Northwest, but we've had some wonderful weather. I've been blessed to visit with family, and I'm just happy to be back sharing what I love with you. So let's jump right in. Okay, so for this baby blanket, I am going to cast on, I cast on 21 stitches. And so this is going to be my take on the hurdle stitch pattern, which is a lot of times done by needle, and this is converted to chunky yarn. And so I've cast on 21, knit my first row of stitches, and row 2 we are also going to knit all the way across. I really like to keep stitches small for baby blankets. So I like it to be nice and tight. Okay, so we are completing row 2, and we're going to start on row 3. So I knit the border stitches, and then we're going to bring our yarn to the front and push it through so it's a purl stitch. So knit and then purl, and that's all the way across. We're going to knit and purl. And you'll be able to tell the difference between the knit and the purls. The purls come around the front. And so for row number 4, we are going to do the exact same. The thing that's neat about this blanket is it looks great on both sides. Knit, purl, knit, purl, knit, purl, and knit. So we're going to go ahead and do the exact same. We're going to knit, and then we're going to purl. I try and make my purls a little bit smaller so they stay tighter. This yarn tends to loosen up, stretch out over time. So there's purl, knit. And if you're lose count, you can always see from row 3 which stitches are knit and which are purl. Purl, knit, purl, knit. This is such a great beginner pattern because it's just knits and purls. Knit, purl, and knit. Okay, so we are just going to continue repeating that 4-row pattern, and that is 2 knit and then 2 rows of the knit purls. So I will come back in a little bit. So we did the first 2 knits and the first 2 knit purls rows, and now I'm going to knit 2 rows again, and I will come back when I am closer to being finished so we can cast off. Okay, so I'm about 4 inches away from being done. So I'm going to go ahead. I make my baby blankets 30 by 36 size. You can do any length you'd like. I'm going to go ahead and I just knit 2 rows. So I'm going to go ahead and do my knit purl row for number 3 in the pattern. I just love the way this blanket looks on both sides, really. And so now I'm going to purl, knit, purl, knit, purl, and knit. So I'm going to repeat that pattern or that row and do knit, purl, knit, purl, knit, purl, knit, purl, knit. I'm going to finish doing that all the way across. Knit, and now we're going to do the last 2 knit rows because that's where I wanted to end my length. And for me, I like the pattern or the blanket to look symmetrical, so since I started with 2 knits, I'm going to end with 2 knit rows and then do my cast off. All right, so here is the last knit row. we're gonna start the cast off for our baby blanket, and you're gonna want at least 3 blanket widths. So I make them a little bit bigger and then I trim it off. You're gonna take your last loop that you just knit and take the second to the last loop and pull this tail through. And we're gonna keep doing that. Keep 2 of them on your finger and pull it through. And have one pick up the next one, pull the working yarn or the tail through. And we will just continue until we finish. And it makes a nice finished edge. Again, I do the cast off a bit bigger. And that was a little bit too big. So I'm gonna go ahead and take some of these out and make it a little smaller. So that's easy to do. If you make your loops too big and you don't have enough of a tail to finish, you can just make your loops a little bit smaller. It's happened to me a few times. Okay, so here we go. And we're gonna have 1 loop left at the end, which you put the tail through and cinch it tight. I usually weave this piece in and sew the end so that it doesn't the tail of the yarn doesn't pop out. So I weave it in and I will sew it with needle and thread there. But I'll show you what this finished product looks like. And on both sides in just a minute.